Welcome back, my dear students. We will continue our unit 1, my family and me. We have a story of an orphan girl. Heidi is the story of an orphan girl, so her name is Heidi. She goes to live with her grandfather in Switzerland. Her grandfather is an old man. He lives in a small house in the mountains and he has lots of goats. He lives in a small house in the mountains. Can you see this? This is a mountain. So he has a small house in the mountains and he has lots of goats, animals called goats. Heidi sleeps in a bed in the attic of the house. Attic is the top roof of the house, so she sleeps in a bed in attic of the house. She drinks goat's milk and eats bread and cheese. So she eats bread and cheese and she drinks goat's milk. Every day she walks in the mountains with her goats or with the goats. Can you see this? This is a goat. So every day she walks in the mountains with her goats, her grandfather and her friend, Peter. So every day it's something that is a habit. So we use here present simple tense. Walks in the mountains with her goats, her grandfather, and her friend Peter. She sees birds and flowers. Can you see this? This is a bird and flowers. Okay, she is very happy. But one day Heidi's aunt arrives and takes her to the city. Heidi doesn't like city and she's very sad to be away from her grandfather Peter and the goats. So she was very sad. Okay? Heidi was very sad. She didn't like or she doesn't here like the city. She's very, very sad. She doesn't want to be away from her grandfather and Peter and the goats. Then Heidi has lots of adventures in the city. So again, let's listen to our story. Heidi is the story of an orphan girl. Orphan girl is a girl without a family. She doesn't have a father or a mother. This is an orphan. She goes to live with her grandfather in Switzerland. Her grandfather is an old man. He lives in a small house in the mountains and he has lots of goats. Heidi sleeps in the bed in the attic of the house. She drinks goat's milk and eats bread and cheese. Every day she walks in the mountains with her goats, her grandfather and her friend Peter. She sees birds and flowers. She's very happy. But one day Heidi's aunt arrives and takes her to the city. Heidi doesn't like the city and she's very sad to be away from her grandfather, Peter, and the goats. Then Heidi has lots of adventures in the city. So here we will move in the present simple tense to WH questions. Okay, how to make WH question in the present simple tense. Okay, first we put the WH word. For example, we have why, when, where. Okay, and we have do or does. Okay, when do we use do? We use do with I, they, we, you, and any plural noun. We use does with he or she or it or any singular noun. So WH word and do or does, then the noun or the pronoun, then the verb in the infinitive, then the rest of the sentence. Then don't forget the question mark. For example, yes, here do with I, we, you, they, any plural nouns, and does with he or she or it or any singular noun. For example, where do you go every Friday? I go to my uncle, or I go to visit my uncle. When does she do her homework? She does her homework at night. Okay, so when we make a WH question, first we put the WH word, then do or does. When do we do? We use do, okay, with you or we or they or any plural noun, and we use does with he or she or it or any singular noun. Then we put the noun or the pronoun, then we put the verb in the infinitive, the verb that is in the basic way. We don't add anything to the verb. And then the rest of the sentence, and don't forget the question mark. Okay, so that's for our lesson today. I hope you enjoyed and understood it, and see you next lesson. Bye.